Hey, I'm Joe Scacciaferro, and this is Roadcase Stories. All right, so half of you had no idea when I said Roadcase Stories because this is a brand new series on Farrell's TV, and I'm not hosting it. So I'm gonna introduce. I'm not even gonna hype the show. I was gonna go and explain it to you, but I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna bring in J3, John Allen III, but I don't know how to call him John anything. I got to call him J3.
That's right.
And he's your host. I'm going to kind of hang out. And John, let me just give quick background. So John came on location. So if you want to go see who he is, what he's done, it's a two-part series because he wouldn't shut up. It's awesome. But you should go check that out. But when I mentioned I'd like to do a show like Roadcase, like all of us, every industry I'm in, and I cross over a bunch of them. I said, the best stories are hanging out on Roadcase Stories in the wings, backstage, wherever. He bid on that so hard, and John jumped in and said, yeah, I'm in. I'm on. And next thing I know, he was booking guests. So that's why he's hosting it. So welcome, J3.
I have with me a very old friend and somebody who I've been blessed enough to tour with many times and travel to foreign countries and do a lot of crazy stuff. And he's definitely a bit of a Swiss Army knife. His name is John Rupp. Man, I've been hearing about John for probably 2 decades. But when did we actually meet? Was it Struts the first time?
It was. I think we met. I was on another tour.
It was through Feld.
I was on another tour.
Oh, wow.
We were in the same
Okay.
city. I forget
Right,
which city it was, but basically like our buses, our hotels, our day rooms or something were close enough to where Feld was like, come over, meet the Struts guys.
You guys got to meet. You've been talking about each other for...
Yeah, we've been talking about each other for years. So, I Ubered over or whatever. We hung out and, first thing I remember, it was on the Struts bus. So that was my first time meeting all of you guys in the Struts camp. And I just remember walking on the bus and first thing I see is Luke in like pajamas. I'm like, all right, yeah, what's up, dude?
Sipping tea.
Yeah, so that was the first time we met, I'm pretty sure.
And then we sucked you into the organization. Yeah. He became our monitor guy for quite some time. But part of the thing that Joe and I have been talking a lot about is how a lot of people in this industry, we end up doing all different kinds of things.
Yep.
Not just, I'm a sound guy. I'm a guitar player. And you're one of those guys. You have the production experience. You have multiple different facets. You're into management. You're booking now. So there's all these things that we can talk about. But primarily we're here to tell crazy fucked up road stories.
Absolutely.
for entertainment value.
Plenty of them floating around, that's for sure.
So we'll start off with a good one. One of my favorite stories with you is we're with the Struts. We had a one-off. This is Brazil Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza.
It's the first time I've been to South America at all, but it's a massive show. No pressure.
No pressure at all.
There's a bunch. Yeah. There's a bunch of big headlining bands on, and of course it's house consoles and stuff. So I have a file ready, but it's just kind of touch and go. And as we're like driving into the show, our tour manager informs us, the SD7 blew up. And now you have to use an S6L, which I had no show file for.
Yeah.
So now I'm supposed to like jump from console to console in like 30 minutes, plus set up the stage and do a show in front of what ended up being like 50,000 people.
Right.
And a very, very large rock band was there. I'm not going to name any names, but that guy was using the S6L and wanted to use it during our set to like work on his show. And he wasn't very happy to the point of almost like fisticuffs in front of house. Like, I can't work because you guys are fucking me. I'm like, what do you want us to not have a show so you can like tweak your plugins like on changeover?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the same thing happened to me on deck. So I had a show file for the Digico.
I'm sorry, fighting for a board.
Yeah, I had a show file for the S6L, but then the headliner that night also decided they wanted to use the S6L, and they gave me the Digico, which I didn't have a show file for. So that's kind of like where this.
We were just getting screwed left, right, and center.
Yeah.
The mic stands were all trash.
Oh, God.
Everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
And it's slammed. It's a big show. So I get on the console, I get settled down, and right as I'm getting to the point, I'm like, okay, I can get through this. John is on stage. And do you want to like briefly describe what like driving is like when a monitor guy says, hey, do you want to drive? And I'll go out on the stage, like, because you were setting up monitor mixes, but you weren't on the board.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yep. So basically, like once I got my console laid out, I realized like shit, like someone's got to go on deck and start to, ring these out.
Make sure these wedges and subs were working. Right. And
so basically, as JT was saying, get someone to drive the console. I just looked at the house audio guy or the audio guy for the production company. Was like, hey man, you know how to use this? Yeah.
Whoever he was.
you know how to use this console? Cool. I'm going to go out there and just yell shit at you.
I'm at front of house. I mean, the venue is huge. It's probably 60,000 seats. I'm at front of house, and he is on stage yelling at this guy through the side fills like, bass drum vocal. You're going to want to high pass that. Bass drum vocal. And the guy had no idea how to high pass it. Couldn't turn it up or down. It was coming out of the subs.
No, it was coming out. I was yelling, like beating it on my chest. And I'm like,
he's going bass.
This sounds like an Ampeg. Somehow my vocal sounds like an Ampeg head.
And it's loud. Like the kids in the crowd are all hearing it. And I'm like falling down laughing after almost getting into a fist fight with this guy. Yeah. He's like, you're going to want to start right at the top of the channel strip. Yeah. You see that one? No, that's the gain. It feeds back. And then
that's right. He hit the gain. I'm like,
the one underneath it.
Yeah.
Oh,
HPF. HPF. It's a little symbol. I don't know.
It's easily like 105 at front of house. Like it's just ripping out.
Yeah.
So we're laughing. I get back there and we do the show. The show goes great. But that was every time I see him or we text, it's always bass drum vocal,
dude. Yeah, it was crazy.
Do you know what a high pass is?
Yeah. I just remember out there like high pass. Like just get me to 125. I'll take that.
The guy's like doesn't even speak English. Has never seen the board.
Yeah, no clue. No clue, but that was funny. And actually, I remember that show. My first two songs, as most of these throw and go shows are, my first two songs was basically, I should have just started from scratch. Everything that guy did for me, I was just the first two songs was like, yep, never doing that again. Nope, that guy.
You just want to make sure at least the vocals are coming out for Luke because he's a big old school wedges and side fills guy. So if he's got nothing, he's gonna he's gonna snap.
Yep.
One of the other things that I think is very entertaining, John is a very serious fisherman.
Love it.
And if you tour with him for 5 minutes, you're going to find out how much he is into fishing to the point where he opened a tackle shop and the whole 9 yards, and he was going to open one in Florida. He's got one in PA.
Yep.
So one of my other favorite stories about you is like we were doing another like insane one-off in like Colorado or something at a ski resort.
Copper Mountain.
Copper Mountain Ridge. I mean, this was literally like this was an SD10 in the snow. Yeah. Like I think they put it on. Like it was. We were in the snow, joke. For sure. The weather was so bad.
Yeah, we were.
And so we're heading up there, and we're all it's just getting into like a Suburban at the airport with the band and the crew, and our tour manager Alex Feld is very very good friend of both of ours. He's like, hey, we're going to kind of take our time. This wasn't the day of the gig. Like we were getting in the day before. We're going to take our time getting up there and, probably go and see. What was the other, like Pikes Peak or some other mountain there that we could go to? I can't remember what it was. But
I forget.
We went to some mountain.
Yeah.
But you're like, I want to go fishing. There's great streams here. And I'm like, what the fuck are we going to do? Like, we're going to pull over and watch you fish? And then basically within a half an hour, that's exactly what, and I have video of this. Feld pulls over. He's like, I got to take a piss. John like runs out of the truck with his fly reel, and he's down in the river, like just fitting it in.
Just trying to get a quick dry fly or something, That was awesome.
You can't fucking make it up.
Nope.
And then the show was awful. Like
it was interesting.
It was the end of the season, and it was really bad. It was just snow on everything, and we're like, the mics are freezing, so we're like checking the piano. The vocal mic has ice on it. Like this is great.
Right.
Band's gonna love this.
Yep. I think I even had an SC48 that show, I believe. That's all they can get me for monitor.
Garbage.
And like I remember even like the screen would like black out. You know, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna
my other favorite.
If it's fucking old. You know,
my other favorite thing, and Joe will appreciate this, and we're going to get into the whole thing about getting fucked on advances and like whatever you've agreed on.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to move and do the show. You're bringing this console and and this many mic stands, and they're screwing you left, right, and center.
Yeah, left, right,
or just lying to you, or they never had that to begin with.
Right.
That particular show, that I emails for 2 weeks back and forth. Oh, we got the Wave server. We're going to hook it up for you. I get there. It's like I just said, it's like an SD8 on a pile of snow with a closed rack case, no network cable, no power running. I'm like, this is not exactly what we discussed.
Yeah, this is not what was talked about at all. Yeah.
The amount of times that I've shown up for throw and go shows where it's not, then I just don't even use the servers anymore. I'm just not, I left that life, but where people have screwed me on that, like, oh yeah, it's in a case, it's in the truck. It's like, well, that doesn't help me.
Is that, like,
it needs to be plugged in and working. Yeah. Hey, bring me a Lake processor. Oh, it's up on the stage somewhere in a case.
Yeah, it's a Generation 1
Does
Galaxy.
it have an IEC cable?
I gotta. So IEC
cable. Yeah, it's a Generation 1.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A Gen 1 Galaxy. It's not even a Lake. Like, oh, that's good. Yeah, this is good.
These lights.
You never know.
Those are my two starter stories. I mean, I know there's a bunch of stuff that you wanted to talk about stuff that you're doing.
Yeah,
but
I'm just down to talk to my boy.
I know that early on, you were working with a bunch of bands. Like you weren't just going on the road and working for us. You were working with Spill Canvas. You were managing the band.
Yep, still am.
Now you said that you got into booking. So can you briefly kind of touch on like, one of my just real quick on that whole thing. We were like sharing a room somewhere, and one of the guys from Spill Canvas calls, same exact thing. Like they set up the whole gig. Here's the advance. They go to the show. John's off site, and we had just smoked a huge joint, and we're just laying in the room, and phone calls, and John's like, "What are you?" You're blowing my mind right now. Like, what are you talking about? Like they had no, I don't know. They didn't have tickets.
Yeah, it was
something for the show.
Like,
you were
what
like,
it was. It was the most asinine thing I ever heard. Like I thought they were fucking with me.
Like,
I just thought.
I think it was like a door count, and they're like, oh, they didn't count, and they didn't pay us enough money, and you're like,
it was the weirdest.
There's 1,000 people there. Like,
it was the weirdest thing. Oh, you know what it was? I can't even remember, but that's how. That's how insane it was. It was something like that, where it was like, "Oh yeah, we sold tickets, but we don't have any tickets.
Yeah, we didn't make any money, and the guy left."
I'm like, what do you mean you didn't scan them in? Yeah, there was no door person, there was no ticket taker. Just they just opened the door. And
that's what it was. Like nobody. So because nobody was at the door, you don't make any money. Like fuck you.
Because basically, it was a standard deal, like a flat guarantee plus 85% back end, right? And the show was sold out, so you should be getting you get your back end. If it was a $5,000 guarantee plus
people
85%,
are running out the back door,
whatever it was. Yeah, people were just running out the back door. But here they had no way to track the door sales because still to this day, like I don't even know. I can't even remember. I think I just blocked it on my memory. I was like, "Yep, blacklist that venue. We're never going back to that." It was crazy.
So to that point, what made you sort of branch out into? I briefly managed a few people, and it's really not my cup of tea. Yeah. And as well as tour managing or production managing, like it's a whole thing. Like I like kind of one job at a time.
Right,
is sort of my thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what made you sort of decide? Hey,
honestly,
more responsibility.
So honestly, what it came down to was, what the artists were getting from these folks that would take a percentage off of their gross income, so often, like I'm not going to throw shade here at anybody. So I don't want anyone to think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I just noticed all those years as a tour manager or a production manager or an audio guy.
You're watching all this money
You're watching all this money go into these guys' pockets to like literally 10% right off the top. Some even more. Some are able to even get like 15%, which is like wild to me. Because like you can literally sit down with them and be like, hey, here's a picture of 2 cables. Which one is an XLR? And they're going to be
yeah.
Oh yeah, what does XLR stand for? You know what I mean? Like so
extremely
long rodeo cable. You know, and you're like, So I kind of realized all those years that there was like no help. Like it all got put on us anyway. You know, like anytime there was a production question or a tour bus question or a lighting or even flights. The people that are taking this large chunk off the top, they don't even fucking they can't even spell Priceline. You know, they don't even know. They've never even been on it. You know, so that's kind of like one thing where I was like, look, man, if I start getting into like management and booking, like so now, like as a booking agent, I represent quite a few artists internationally, and when I send them their offer sheets. Also, it has flight options in my offers. You know, like here's what you can expect to make. Here's how much I think you're going to lose. Here's how much I think you're going to make. Maybe you'll break even. You
want to come home with no money? We can go first class.
Right. You want to come home with no money? We can go first class. Or it's your first time in Asia. I can't get you more than a few $1,000s a show. You're not going to make money. Do you have is it worth it to get you over there in this new market to build you? You know, so you don't just get an Excel sheet that's like, hey, here you go fuck yourself. You know,
you're done.
Like, send that to your tour manager so he can bust his ass for the next 6 weeks trying to find you flights into Bangladesh. You know, so that's
which is a great segue. Yeah, don't forget that. Go keep going.
So that's kind of like why I decided like I want to start to branch out here and just be like a little bit more useful on the ground.
Bangladesh.
Right. So like I'm a manager and an agent that we can sit down and talk about. Building a stage with Wonder Structure. We can talk about rigging points. We can talk about 1-ton motors, 2-ton motors, video walls, hanging a fucking PA, a DMB rig, and acoustics.
Not like, let me
you have an audio friend, right? Just call him.
You have an audio.
You guys have an audio guy in the team, right? I think actually I don't even know if you do. Let me check my notes here. Like, you know what I mean? And I got sick of it. And then also
they're taking 10%.
Yeah, and they're taking it right off the top. They're making my twice my weekly salary in one show. You're like, what is
Newsflash: the bands are sick of it too. I think everybody's looking for
they definitely are
a little bit more action.
Yeah, for sure.
Little less talk and a little more action.
Right. So actually, my booking agency slogan, we have a couple of them working on, but mainly it's book it with someone who's been there. And that just goes a long way.
Yeah.
And all my team members on the agency all have toured the world. I refuse to have anyone involved.
So there's
hasn't. You know,
this is another thing that we've been talking about is like when you can't unknow that, but if you don't know it, you're just like, oh, we can just, get some bicycles and cruise on over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's get some bicycles. You got us an electric scooter, right? That should get you to Tokyo.
I call that a segue because I only know maybe one other person that has ever toured in as exotic and bizarre locations as you have.
Yeah, I've been in some shitholes.
But also just places that a lot of us don't get to or don't want to go. Yeah. Do you have any interest? Do you have to have interesting stories? I mean, I know because we go to Japan, we go to Australia, we go, but most places you can find somebody, we've been to Croatia, we've been to find somebody that speaks English, but what are maybe a couple anecdotes or crazy wacky things that you had to go through and say India or
India was I hope I never go to India ever again. I just want to say that India
start there.
India is probably the reason why I wanted to get off the road.
That's good.
And you can't make this stuff up. Like I've been to India. Oh my gosh, probably a dozen times. And of course, like when you first start touring. It's cool, right? Like you don't care.
Everything's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. Like you don't care that like you ask for gaff tape and you get painter's tape. It's cute. It's cute, or
Scotch tape.
or you get a Fender Twin on your backline list and it doesn't work, so you ask them for another one. And 2 hours goes by, another Fender Twin shows up, and it just explodes when you turn it on, and then send them back to the shop. Like, this time you bring 3, just bring 3 Fender Twins. You know what I mean? And then finally you get
bring all of
just
them.
bring them all, and then finally you find one that one speaker works. Like, both mics are going on that cone tonight. No one touch it. No one touch it. So at first, like, that's kind of cute. It's kind of fun. Throws you in the fire. But then, like, as you get older, you're like, I can't fucking do this anymore.
correct me if I'm wrong. You've been front of house PM on a lot of those.
Yep, front of house PM.
And, like,
TM.
what is it like? What is it like mixing, like, PA wise, and like,
like the mixing part in a lot of those places was kind of the only time where I could actually, like, enjoy myself.
Enjoy it.
So once you got all the fires out, and the band members stopped getting shocked by their mic stands, and once you figured all that stuff out, and the show happened, that's when I could finally be like, oh, thank God! Like, I'm just gonna put my phone down.
Yeah.
I don't have 3 of the line array speakers on house left aren't working, but I'm just gonna pretend like they are.
I mean, I can remember on our end, like, sort of the uneasy transition from, okay, you're touring international enough now to where you're going from, are we going to carry 55 Pelicans through a fucking airport every time we do this? Yeah. Or are we, is there a better way?
Is there a better way?
Obviously we're not the Chili Peppers. We can't have, the whole, our whole headlining fucking stage set and gear in 3 copies, 1 in Asia, 1 in Europe. So,
right, for sure. And artists just can't afford that. You just, it's insane, especially at the level I was touring with over there. Like, a lot of the shows I'd go over there with, we were doing 3,000 to 4,000 tickets, but that doesn't quite justify me shipping, 2 sea containers full of everything I own. Because now you're not making any money. That's just
it's all rent. It's all rental. Local.
Yeah. So, like, a lot of the arena tours, when they go to India or Philippines or Brazil, they're bringing almost everything with them. Mm-hmm. So they don't have to run into a lot of these problems that
it's just a meeting.
The 3,000 capacity
get working
rooms.
Power
get working power. But a couple of them I will say have come a long way. Like, when I first started touring Philippines, I used to go to the Philippines twice a year without fail.
Which I've heard nothing good about.
That. And it wasn't. It wasn't. But I got to be honest that the last few times I was there, they finally took their production to another level. It was like spot on, especially in like Manila and Cebu and like Davao.
Cities.
Like they finally got their shit together. Like, I was no longer getting shocked by touching a guitar. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, literally, guitar players would just like pick up their guitar.
They hired an
like,
electrician.
What the fuck?
220. Maybe.
What has happened? There was even a time when I was in the Philippines, everyone's guitars were getting shocked. Everyone's microphones was shocking you. And here, like, they only have a hot and a neutral, like, in their power at the time.
Yeah, they're giving you like
There's two prongs.
Windscreens.
It's like 2 prongs for the power. Like, what the fuck is happening? But all of our amps and whatnot, like, still had a ground, but the ground, like, just didn't go anywhere. There was even times where I saw the backline company just, like, cut the ground off and be like, yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, no problem. So I remember there was this one show where I grabbed
stupid idea anyway.
Yeah, there was a show. And I don't even know how I thought to do this, because probably just because I'm a psychopath. I grabbed like a 100-foot XLR cable, and I just stripped both ends off and put the copper together for all 3 conductors. And I like wedged it.
Just made one wire.
I wedged it into like the ground on a Fender Twin. It was a Fender Twin at the time, and the stage was built out of Wonder structure. So I ran the XLR cable under the stage, stripped that end, and just like wrapped it around
tied it to the stage.
and it stopped.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
It stopped shocking the guy. It stopped shocking him. I was like, great.
I got an idea.
I was like, cool.
Let's do the show. 1, 2, 3.
Touch this cable, for the love of Christ. If anyone touches this fucking cable, I'm going to lose my mind.
Give me some painter's tape so I can label.
Yeah, and like I'm not even like an electrician, to be honest with you. Like, I know how it works. Of course, you have to in this world, but like I was like, maybe this will work, and luckily it did. And it stopped shocking the guy for the show. But
on the flip side of that, I don't think you ever went to Japan with us.
I didn't, but we were in Japan at the same time. We were doing Summer Sonic, but I was with a band that was in Osaka when you guys were in Tokyo, and then we passed
were
each
like
other.
flipping.
Yeah, we flipped. Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to say about, especially having gone to Japan as many times as we have, it's sort of the flip side of what you are describing.
Oh my God, Japan
especially Summer Sonic, the big festivals, like they are
unbelievable.
The most anal, in a good way, anal production people that I've ever worked with. The audio guys are brilliant. The PAs usually sound good, except for one time.
Yep. Lighting rigs are great.
They'll do shit like, because it's all rental gear. It's like, two AC-15, two SVT. And you do the first show in Osaka or whichever place you start, and they measure it precisely. They're like making CAD drawings of the stage.
Yeah.
You have like a production meeting on a different day with the entire crew. And then when you go to the other city, they've completely replicated your stage.
Yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
down to the inch.
Yep, it's crazy.
Like the snare, like.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, the mics are on.
Yep, it's crazy.
Like in the right spot.
Yeah, Japan's definitely.
I remember us.
It's like the Germans almost of Asia. They're just in a league of their own.
Yeah.
They're
well, they're really passionate about it.
Yeah, they are. And they take it seriously. I've never had a bad experience in Japan.
No.
Even Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong like maybe only like 2 or 3 times, and I never had a bad experience there really, except for just weird shit, just not being able to go down like a leisure hotel.
Joe will appreciate this because we talk a lot about just communication in general, like on a gig. When you're trying to communicate to people that do not speak or really understand the language at all, it becomes all symbols and gestures. And I've had to do it in Germany too, but Japan, like I've had system engineers like at the stadium, like Zoso Stadium, it's 80,000 seats, don't speak English.
Yeah.
So you start doing like this, and the guy will be like, and I'll be like, and he's like, okay, you're grunting at each other, and like you get there, like it's amazing how well it works. You have to like try.
Right. Yep. One thing that's been cool is, just a couple of years before COVID, I did notice that a lot of English-speaking promoter reps started popping up in like almost every country. And even now,
it's a smart.
And all the promoters I work with in Asia now with my artists for the booking.
Australia too.
Yeah, Australia.
Which you wouldn't think it's not about English. It's about knowing how everything works in Australia.
Yeah.
So they give you a guy or a girl who is like, hey, we need all the room keys. The bus has got to go here. You don't have to your tour manager doesn't have to deal with all that shit.
Yeah.
It's like usually pretty
spot on. Yeah. Australia does it well.
Unless
too.
you're,
yeah, for sure. But what's nice is like Philippines and even India and stuff now. Like I'll just do Zoom calls with these promoters, and they speak great English now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then same like all my artist riders, I make sure that there's an English speaking translator with them at all times. So this way, when they're on stage setting something up, my monitor guy can look over and be like, I need 6 SM57s, and they can just, you need 6, whatever.
It's not like, what?
It's not like, what? Because there's been tons of times.
You just got to start pointing it.
Yeah, like my first Indonesia tour was in 2012, and I just remember like walking around stage like, I need an SM58, and I look over and there's 9 stagehands that are just like, no, SM58, like.
I don't need 58 thumbs up. I need
fucking say something. Hello. Why are you just smiling at me? Where's your mic locker?
All right.
Shit. So
if you because this is another like international touring story, and it's one of my favorites from you.
Yeah. And
I think it had just happened before you were out with us. You have to tell the man card bus runs out of gas story.
Oh, geez.
And I remember, and I'm like, how did this happen? He goes, the guy's seriously lacking a man card.
Yeah.
You have to tell this.
Yeah.
Try to keep it like,
Yep. So
that shit was.
So we're in Belgium, 3:00 in the morning. I'm sleeping in my bunk like a baby. In a tour bus. We're all sleeping. I think our show the night before was probably in Paris or something, and then we're trying to get down to the ferry to get to England.
to get across.
To get across, yeah. So 3:00 in the morning, and keep in mind it's winter. Yeah, it's cold as fuck. So
winter is hell.
Winter is there. And this tour was with Hobo Johnson and Oliver Tree. It was like a co-headline tour they were doing, and I was TM front of house. So I wake up to my bus driver's face, like in my bunk curtain. I'm like, hey John, like what the fuck? Like, dude, what is wrong, bro? He's like, we have a problem, mate. Bus ran out of fuel. And I'm like, okay, like what?
Isn't that your job?
Like, what, fucking open a gas station here on the exit? Like, what are you asking me to do here? He's like, yeah, I'm like, all right, I'll be out in 1 second. So, I get my shit on, I roll out of the bunk, and I go down, and apparently what happened was the fuel gauge on the bus must have broke. So it said he had like a quarter of a tank or a half a tank.
And it's just stuck there,
and it's just stuck empty. There. And I was like, all right, well, we're on the highway. Like, where's the closest gas station or garage, as they call it?
The garage.
The garage. So we were on the highway, and there was a garage like 4 miles behind us, and then another one like 3.5 miles in front of us. So I'm like, okay, like, can we call them? He's like, I've been trying to call them. No one answers the phone, or the phones just don't go anywhere.
And it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning, middle of Belgium. And of course, like, I'm like looking on my Apple Maps and my Google Maps, like nothing says like open, like, 24 hours. Like the information didn't exist for these two options. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm going to go to the one that's 3.5 miles away. Not the one that's 4 miles away or whatever. So he hands me this big empty water jug. He's like, all right, go get diesel fuel. I'm like, all right. So here I am at 3 a.m. completely by myself. I think it was 7 degrees outside because I remember
you showed me the videos. Yeah. It's like a blizzard. Yeah, so he's walking down the highway in Belgium.
Yeah.
He's filming it on his phone. Yeah. He's like, well, I could die.
I could die here.
Gotta go.
Yeah, I could die here.
I'm going to go under this underpass now. I'm getting hit by snowplows. Yeah. Like, it's totally insane.
It was insane. So finally, after walking, I don't know, man, an hour and a half. Now my beard had icicles on it. I had a bigger beard at the time.
The beard.
Yeah, had icicles growing off of it.
We can get pictures.
Yeah, I stepped on like, I had to go off the road, obviously, when there was certain cars coming, when the shoulder was super small. And I remember stepping into a fucking ice puddle. Went like almost knee deep. I was like, Jesus Christ. And now my shoe is a block of ice. Like as I'm walking, it's like, kung, kung, kung. Like hear it every time it hits the asphalt. Like, Jesus, what do I got?
Go on tour, they said.
Go on tour. So I get to this
tour
gas
manager,
station.
They said. Travel the world.
Right, travel the world. So I finally get to the gas station. I'm like, oh, thank God it's open. It's lit up like it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen at this point, I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. It's open. So I get in. First thing I do is just get a nice hot cup of coffee. I fill up this empty container with diesel fuel, and then I pick it up, and I'm like, this is fucking 90 pounds.
Yeah,
shit. You're like, why didn't I think of this?
You guys have a cart?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I go back in, and I'm like, look, sweetest woman, she was so sweet. Yeah. I'm like, can I please borrow this shopping cart? Like, I promise you I will return it. But like I'm trying to explain the situation.
I swear I don't have to do the Iditarod in this. Like I can,
right, like I promise you, like I'm going to take this back to my bus that's out of gas. We're going to fill it up.
Drive it
straight to you because you're the gas station that was ahead of us. Like, don't worry, this cart will be back in 3 hours ish, if I don't die. And luckily, like I was able to like talk her into because at first she was like absolutely not, bro. You're not taking
no way.
You're not taking one of these carts. Look at you. You're the sketchiest thing that's ever walked into this gas station. But she spoke a little bit of English, so a lot of it was like through Google Translate at the time, where I was like typing stuff. So anyway, she lets me use the cart. But now what sucks is during my journey, a lot of the overpasses touch the highway. So I had to climb up a grass hill and then across the street that the overpass was on and then down another hill to get back, to the road, the shoulder of the road. And there was like maybe 3 or 4 of those. So now, and including the one I had to walk up to get to the gas station. So it was like a stone, and it was steep, it was like more like a rain runoff ditch. So, I leave the gas station with my shopping cart. And what I would do is I would take the jug out of the shopping cart, slide it down the hill on my ass, and get it down. And I go back up and I get the shopping cart. And now it's like, there's a lot of trees and bushes and sticker bushes and thorns and shit.
Oh my God.
So it's getting stuck on tree branches. And I'm just like, Jesus, fuck. And I would get the cart back down, put the diesel fuel in, push it for a half mile to a mile until I had to do that again, go up and back down. There's 3 or 4 of them on the whole walk. But anyway, I finally got the diesel fuel back to the bus. I was in terrible shape. It's freezing cold. I could feel my lips were chapped.
Your face is iced up.
Face is iced up. Like, it was wild. Now, keep in mind, too, the bands slept through all of this. They had no idea. They woke up the next morning when we got to the ferry.
That's the best. They're like, nothing happened.
Yeah. So basically what happened was...
Did you sleep well?
Yeah, right. Like they were all used to me being like the first person awake, right? So we get to the ferry.
Smoking
and having my coffee.
Cigarettes, drinking coffee.
Yeah, so we get to the ferry and my bus driver's like out there in line and people were like, why is Rupp not? Where's Rupp at? And he's like, oh, he's sleeping.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's like, all right. What do you mean he's sleeping? And then Paul, the driver, great guy, dude. I love him. Paul's still one of my good friends. So this is it's not his fault the fuel gauge went out,
No.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
He's awesome. But basically, Paul then was telling everyone the story, like, we're going to let him sleep till the last possible minute because here's what he went through last night. So when I finally do wake up, like 10 minutes before it's time to board the ferry, and I go outside, like, both bands and the whole entire crew is like, oh my God, dude, is that true?
Like,
Is that really true? Like, you did all that shit last night? And I'm like, yeah, a couple of the guys.
Well, you're here, aren't you?
Here. We got here, right?
Because we could still be sitting.
Yeah, and we did have to push back to the later ferry because of it. Like, I do remember that. Luckily, it was
easy.
It was like we were supposed to hit the 7 a.m. and we had to push back to like the 10 a.m. or whatever.
But
basically, like, I remember one of the band guys being like, dude, why don't you wake me up? I would have went with you. And I looked at him like, dude, you would have passed away. Like, do you see yourself right now? There's you would have slowed me down. I would have been giving CPR to you on the side of the fucking highway. I would have to leave you.
That's the whole point of the story. I was like, why didn't you send somebody else? And you're like, well, my man was seriously lacking a man.
At this point, like at this point they were like successful musicians. I'm not saying anything bad about those types of people because they're some of my best friends on this planet. They're my family.
You can't give them a shopping cart in Belgium.
I'm not gonna make a fucking guitar player from a band that's selling 4,000 tickets right now. Like, here, man, push this shopping cart with me. Grab the other side of this bucket. You're just not going to do that. So that was a crazy story. That was actually pretty wild.
Did you do some of Foos with us?
I did the first full leg. Actually,
the first like
I left the Foo Fighters tour for this tour.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And the only reason why I did, because we were having a great time. A good friend of mine was that artist manager, and that artist like went viral on YouTube like overnight. So my buddy like
blew up, and it needed like a whole
So what happened was my buddy signed him as to his management firm, and then booked the tour for him. It sold out in like 40 seconds. So he called me in a panic, like, fuck. None of these guys have ever been on tour. He wants, the artist wants his best friend to be his tour manager, but he works at a gas station. I don't know what to do. I need a
with
real
a shopping
guy.
cart.
So pretty much like my job on that tour was to actually like teach them how to tour for 1.5 to 2 years. So that was kind of like the deal was like I'd go in there, teach all of them how to tour, and once I was comfortable,
build it out, and then like get somebody in there.
Give them a fist bump and be like, "Thanks, guys. Call me if you have any problems." And they're both still touring. They're actually they're fucking great. Both
great.
Both guys that like I kind of trained to be a tour manager. They're still tour managing these artists. These artists are still going all over the world. And once in a while, they hit me up about a weird settlement question if the promoter's trying to, hide $5,000 from them, and I'll answer and find
this guy says he doesn't have a doorman, and there's no money.
Hey, you forgot half the tickets were sold at a buy one get one free deal. No, it wasn't.
You get chicken.
Chicken.
Another thing that you came up with, and again, I don't want to like call out a particular venue, but this sort of is a catch-all phrase that you created for when you're getting screwed on the advance, or it's a garbage PA, or there's no power. Oh, we don't have any power.
Yeah, yep.
And it's the concept of birthday party horse
Birthday
shit.
party horse shit.
And kick.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
There was one gig that we were doing. It was like in a parking lot at like a brewery. That's all I'm going to say about it. And everything was like like when you get these hands, like, and good stage hands, even people that listen, great. But people that have never, like, they're so, oh, you need 6 hands, and they send you like a bunch of kids who like just got out of baseball practice, have never, like, it's like, no disrespect, but like, I need you to know which cable is which. Like, let's not dump the SD9 off the fucking
the lift
deck.
gate.
Please,
if we could actually make the lift gate go down instead of just shoving my console off, that'd be really beneficial to my mental health.
It's only $50,000. I mean,
no big deal. Yeah. Yeah, birthday party horse shit. We did, still use it a lot too.
We did that gig, and we had a semi. It was like it was a small stage at this like thing. It's like a gravel parking lot. I'm under a pop-up tent, like dying, sweating to death. The PA was way too small. It was just a nightmare. There was no room for the bands, and I remember you coming up to me. How's it going? Just go birthday party horse shit. And you walked away. And I took a picture of our semi backed up into the stage trying to get out of there. You remember? I don't know if you remember this show, because I don't want to say where it was.
I do remember
and the sound company brought their 18-wheeler, and they literally fucking like
as if they were going to load out first.
They Dukes of Hazarded their 18-wheeler around ours to get the PA down so we could go fuck ourselves. We're like, guys, you're getting paid because we just played. We just got backline.
About?
Just let us get the fuck out of here. This guy's like,
like our loadout
with an 18.
Like our loadout on that tour is like 35 to 40 minutes. You know what I mean? Even for a 4 package of lights, we just had it down to a science. 45 minutes.
And we can't break anything down because they've taken the PA down, and it's all like.
So now I'm sitting there on a fucking riser deck, like, am I seriously watching this right now? And who even let this happen? Where is the stage manager or the production manager?
There was venue. Well, that was another thing. It was being run by a brewery. It wasn't
run by a brewery.
Like, you guys want beer? It's like, no, we want to get the fuck out.
And I even remember I was like talking shit to one of the guys from the audio company about it, and he's like, "Yeah, but we have a gig in the morning. Like, we have to be in a fucking another state to go to overnight. Like, what are you even talking about right now?" Yeah, it was what city was that?
So
I can't remember the city.
I don't
be say like, okay, we'll leave it.
All right, I'm gonna jump in. This is insane. This is beyond.
Oh, my God.
Sadly enough, there's a lot of, I remember that. Oh, yeah. And just so you know, it goes on everywhere. You can go to the transition into broadcast, transition into, it's all the same shit. Everything you two guys, and there's so many more stories I want to hear about, but we also have a clock that I have to watch. So I'm going to pull 100%. The plug now.
No problem.
But, dude, you guys got to do this again, because
we'll do part 2.
I'd love to. We could probably, with the amount of stories we have, we could do part 3 and 4.
We still got to talk about driving through Italy to Morocco, listening to Deftones for like 3 days. 100 miles an hour.
That was actually one of my fondest memories.
And all I kept thinking about was our audience, who are all people who either are in the biz, who are going to relate to these stories and go, oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Or the people who are the newbies trying to get in going, well, that's not what I thought happens. Well, that's where's all the broads and the alcohol and the wild fucking parties and why is this dude walking on a frozen road in the middle of that's why I love this.
You should be drinking Jack in the front lounge, ripping lines,
sleep until 3 p.m.
I saw movies. That's not what happens.
And it's funny because like I still get people that like will kind of bring that up, like, oh my God, dude, you must have had a blast. You must have been raging and having orgies and all this shit. I'm like, dude, I don't work for Led Zeppelin in 72. You're like, what are you even talking about right now?
That's the 1%.
None of those things have happened to me.
Of the 1% of the 1% in a time when that was the thing.
When you could,
none of that
when it was possible. Yeah, it's not. No,
it's
2025.
Yeah, right. Like I was like, let me check my passport. Yeah, my name is still not Richard Cole, so I'm going to go ahead and say I didn't do any of those things.
Oh man, that was great.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thanks for so many great memories that I wasn't even part of, but felt like I was there.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Every bit of what happened.
Right. And I'm sorry that I curse a lot. I can't stop. I tried. I can't stop.
I started saying that in the beginning, and then I said that's probably not appropriate. But I come from Jersey, and I come from Newark in Jersey, and I'm Italian.
Right.
I don't know how not to curse.
Not to curse.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I just say I have permanent tour mouth.
It's a punctuation. So anyway, guys, I got to go. Yeah. But
sweet.
Thanks. This is beyond what I thought we were going to be doing, and this is sick. So
awesome. Man. Thanks for having me. Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was great. Yeah, anytime you want to do a part 2, 3, or 4, let me know. We can J3 and I can talk for hours.
You know what's going to happen? I'm going to end up with by the time we get to episode 7, I'm going to have 7 hosts because everybody's just going to join.
Yeah, keep spinning off into their own show.
It's going to look like the Partridge Family. That wasn't the Partridge Family. What was the other one?
That would be a good idea.
Hollywood Squares.
Oh, that's coming.
Yeah, Hollywood Square. Which host are you getting today?
I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, okay, this is going to be what and we'll put them all together. Anyway, I got to go because I'll keep doing that part too.
All right, man.
Hang in one second because after we sign off, you got to just stay up. All right, gents.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thanks again, guys.
Glad I brought to you this show and wait till these other episodes. Don't even watch the other Faro City crap. This is the only series you should be watching. All right. Ciao, guys. God bless.
Thanks again, Joe. Thanks, J3.
Yeah, man.
Yep.